Hi everyone, welcome to Marianne's Mystic Mentions. I'm Marianne. Welcome to your first half of the month of November Tarot, Oracle, and Love Connection readings. And well, let me introduce you to my newest accessory, which kind of took me way out of the blue and unexpectedly. But is it way out of the blue? I don't know. I fell and I broke a piece of my wrist. So the good news is I can do readings, and that's very important to me, and I'm super grateful to all of you that watch me and have been returning to my channel. And new viewers, I really love and appreciate you for just taking a moment to see if it's something that would resonate with you. What I do is, for just a slight little intro, I'm a longtime psychic intuitive tarot reader, but I also am what I call a compatibility enthusiast for all the different signs, and have been fascinated and studied that for many moons. And then I like to pick a featured sign, which I call the sign of the day, because they are catered to for the reading. And then Spirit has me pick a highlighted connection for you. The highlighted connection could be a person you're already very much aware of or in connection with through some love aspect, whether it be friendship, romance, family, animals, what have you, work partnerships. Or it could be somebody coming into your life that you're not aware of, or the energy of that particular sign is very much a part of you or wanting to be recognized for some reason. And then what I do is read 4 major categories for this highlighted connection and every one of your, once again, love connections of all forms. And I finish with your oracle divinations as well. So yes, I had an unexpected mishap. I am not able to do my massage therapy for probably a couple weeks. However, I feel incredibly blessed because there's no surgery involved. There is not a lot of pain. And once again, I can do my readings. So let's get started with the readings. I'm going to be reading for the featured sign today of, bear with me, I've read for Pisces first because I was not able to upload Pisces videos for some unknown reason, though I really do feel like I know, during major retrograde aspects. And this has happened a couple times, so I thought, nope, they're getting the readings first this time. So I've done Pisces, Aries, Taurus. I'm now on the beautiful sign of Gemini, and we are on the very last, well, half of the last portion. It's like 5 days left of October. So the energies will be partly that, hence the beautiful Halloween colors, and moving into November with a lot of beautiful, powerful energies as well, which we'll discuss. But first and foremost, Gemini, you are an air sign. You are Mercury ruled, and luckily Mercury is stationed forward. It was retrograde in Libra, your fellow air sign. Libra being about balance and scale in the mind and intellect and thoughts and peace and fairness and working together. Relationships are key. We still have Mars and Mercury in Libra, so this is good for you. It's a good harmonizing energy. And what with Mercury being your ruling planet, it's nice because the momentum is building back up and you're always thinking, you're always scheming, and you're a mutable sign, so you really love to just like be doing new things and experimenting and talking about it and expressing it in all different ways, whether it be written or spoken. You're the life of the party. You're witty, you're clever, you're creative. You're, just here, there, and everywhere, really. It's hard to keep up with you sometimes. But fun would be an understatement for you, for sure. So I'm going to pick for you, beautiful Geminis, the highlighted connection that Spirit wants you to know about, as I mentioned. And so for the first half of the month, beautiful Aquarius, the other element that is air sign. So you've got Libra in the mix now. This is your reading for today. And Aquarius, we've got Jupiter and Saturn, extremely powerful, beautiful outer planets that have stationed forward also. Jupiter being the more, benevolent, unbelievably fortunate, opportunistic planet that, represents freedom and innovative ideas and, freedom from dogma and restrictive kind of energy. And then you got Saturn, the confining, taskmaster, they call it, the the god of time, you know, being aware and careful with your time and how you manage your time and your value and so forth, and how you provide that for other people. I'm still tripping over my words a bit, forgive me. The shadow period will finally finish about by the 3rd or so of November. So we're almost there. We're still hanging in there. And, well, it's a beautiful combination for you. You know, you have a lot in common, and Aquarius is a very sociable sign as well, very much about expanding their mind and working with large groups and the world at large, you know, and having a fixed energy where you know you're immutable. Aquarius is fixed and determined, and boy, they're going to make sure this world gets changed before they pass on to the next life by hook or by crook. It's got to be fair. It's got to be, you know, it's got to be helpful for everybody. And ruled by Uranus, you know, is what Aquarius is. And Uranus definitely affects all of us in ways of medicine and, for heaven's sakes, in real world, you know, with the vaccines and definitely technology. So there's always new technology coming through, which has become hugely a part of all of our lives, you know, whether we wanted it or not. And I know people are still rebelling. And yeah, you can live it. You can live a life, but it's getting a little more difficult. This would be making it easier for all of us to utilize that. Who knows what's coming up, you know, but I'm excited about it. And I know that you are too, because you are just the kind of mind that likes to get into the new and the experimental and, you know, and fun and adventure, you know. So that's a beautiful start as far as you're highlighted. Now, you may be in very close proximity or know this Aquarius already by familiarity of family, love, what have you. But it could be the energy that's just very prominent right now in Jupiter and Saturn, because that's going to affect you as a fellow air versus another element, you know, more so than the other elements. So let me start by definitely reading the 4 major categories that are affected by this highlighted connection, but by every one of your relationships. And you know how sociable you are, and you know, even the ones that are homebodies, you know a lot of people. You definitely have the gift of gab, so you love to communicate with people and keep in touch and you know, network and all that beautiful stuff that it takes to, and I think more than ever because of not being able to as much in the last year and a half. That's really, really just starting to blow up, I think, for a lot of us. Like, wow, I missed that. How can I start, and even if it's online still, you know, how can I regenerate and invigorate that part of me that loves to connect? And so that's exciting. We're still, like I said, we have Mars and Mercury in Libra, so it's balance and working on the balance and relationships and just in general in our lives. It's always the best thing we can do so we don't go overboard or not enough and that sort of thing. But also, we have the new moon coming on the 4th of November in Scorpio. So, I mean, that is just about passion. That is about a fixed energy, Mars historically ruled, you know, sign, which is now Pluto ruled, which is transformation, but it's digging deep, boy. It's not surfacey. It's not like the airy aspect that you are, Gemini. It's going deep and looking in and investigating and finding the truth and changing ourselves so we can feel better about ourselves first and foremost, but then the people around us. It affects all of us, right? What we do affects other people. It just always has. It always will. It's not the reason to do things, per se. It's just knowing and being very clear and aware of that and facing that. So it's more understandable that when you have reactions from people, you're more in the know as to why that is and, you know, and how to work with that. The first energy, though, going into the reading is always the overall energy, bringing you to the reading. And I want to say that, yes, this is the sun sign general readings, but you would also probably want to look at your moon, ascendant or rising, and Venus, because they're very important too, and they may be a completely different sign than Gemini. So, you know, there's just so much depth to all of us. And you get more, you know, bang for your buck that way. There's no money involved here, though. These are free. So the first energy, overall energy, bringing you to the reading, the highlighted aspect of Aquarian is there, and then every aspect of any relationship, is the sun. Oh, God, that feels good. It does. You can really feel the energy from the sun. It's one of the most powerful, beautiful energies in the tarot deck. And you know, the sun is also the ruling planet of Leo, so there's fire, there's ambition, there's courage, strength, finding strength in yourself you didn't know you had. There's social aspects. I mean, come on now. There's no more social sign. There are others equal in some ways, but than a Leo. I mean, they love to be extravagant. They love to think big. They're passionate. They're caring. They're leaders, okay? And they want to be seen and heard. They've got that ego going, and it's like working in their favor most of the time. And you really love Leos. You definitely have a good vibe with Leo and that energy. So bring it on, because we've all had our sunshine days and days that weren't so much, and now it's your turn. And it feels phenomenal. And who knows what it's about? It could definitely be about relationships, but it could also be just you're feeling good about you from a long time of maybe not feeling this excited and, you know, creative, and all the benefits that come from the sun. It's a beautiful warmth that's coming through, you know? And I know a lot of times air signs get the bad rap of being, you know, detached, and it's only because there's so many thoughts going on. We're just constantly thinking, as a fellow air sign. You know, it's just wanting to not let the emotions override what we need to do, and to stay on track, and to be, you know. And with Saturn in an air sign, it's really making that happen for us. So it's a beautiful thing, and yet it can be a little bit misunderstanding from other signs, but just keeping the warmth and the power and the fun and the sunshine coming through. That'll negate that detachment, I think, energy a lot. Beautiful. You're the first sign that's gotten that. I love that for you. And the sun shining. We had an amazing storm we needed so badly. And it cleared the air, and you could just breathe in such fresh, you know, breaths of life. The second category is that of possible blessings or obstacles. So, as I always say, you know, obstacles can be blessings. I'm not sure exactly how sometimes, but it reveals things that wouldn't have happened, and you think, oh my goodness. That's an interesting way to receive that, but I'll take it. Because it can always be a positive, you know, it doesn't appear to be at that time. So you have, oh, let me just tell you, this has come up in every reading so far, I believe, except for maybe one. I'm reading these at the end of October, you know, hence the Halloween colors. And it is the 10 of Wands. So possible blessings or obstacles. You're really trying to do a lot of things at once. The Wands are the fire, the Wands are the sun, you know, the Leo, the Sagittarians, the Aries. Oh my gosh, the full moon in Aries. Like, people are still feeling it while I'm doing this reading, because it can last upwards of 2 weeks after, which is on October 20th. And that's the leadership. That's the masculine. That's the Mars. That's the fiery warrior, you know, like, I got to be heard. I got to be seen. I want to state what I believe. And that's going on in the world. It's very, very much a part of the real world right now. Making sure to keep your distance from things that aren't working and feeling right. You don't want to cause an issue if you can help it, right? You can speak your mind and be truthful and authentic, which is hugely a part of Aries. They're like a child. They speak exactly what they think and think what they speak, you know? I mean, they don't hide, or, you know, they're not ingenuous generally, ever. So be prepared for that. Truth is definitely coming through with the beautiful aspects of Scorpio and the new moon, and the intentions for wanting the truth, wanting to find out things that maybe were not clear in a lot of ways for all of us. And you took on a lot. You've been taking on a lot. There's the full moon in the background, which I know is why it keeps coming up, because the Aries moon was extremely powerful. It is a fire energy. And yet it's also between this full moon of Aries and the full moon lunar eclipse that's starting the new eclipse series in Taurus. It's about grounding and making things practical, and not just being fired up and everything, but being capable of planting some really important seeds, and once again grounding ourselves to understand that we want to be as sensible as we can in many aspects of our life. I would say A lot of it has to do with money because Taurus represents the sign of money. They are Venetian, they are Venus ruled, and it's money and power and it's luxury and it's gifts and sensuality and, you know, the earth, the natural things in life that we can feel. And when we hug those trees or just put our feet in the grass, it just comes up through us, and the energy is like revived and renewed, and it brings that wonderful epiphany of sunshine and capabilities and understanding the power that we have. So just put down all those burdens, because this is a 10. This is changing. This is the new cycle. You take the 10 and you take away the 0, it's a 1 again. You're not going to want to do as much as you've been doing, at least for a certain amount of time. That's what this is indicating. And I'm glad, because when you take on too much, you have all this energy and all this, you know, wow, I can do it all, and I'm invincible, until you're not. Or you slip and fall in your home, you know, within 2 seconds, you're like, no! I laugh, but the truth is yeah, there are ways that universe will show you, maybe you should slow down a bit. And I thought I was actually doing pretty well with the balance. I am a Libra, but something else is telling me that maybe not so much. So we'll see. But yes, just know you can delegate. You don't have to take it all on and then you get miserable or unhappy or feel not so great. You know, that's changing. That's a definite part of you that's saying, nope, I'm going to work smarter, not harder. It's the new attitude, as it were, because it makes sense, and why not? You know, it's what we believe, what our patterns and thought processes are that really indicate our lives so much. So the next category is that of finances. So you've got all sorts of beautiful possibilities and opportunities and just wealth and, you know, the ultimate with the sun. The largest star in the planet, you know, in our planet that exudes all of these things. And dreams fulfilled. And, you know, just don't overdo it. Don't ruin that in any way possible by just thinking, oh, I gotta do it all. You know, just keeping it real and checking in so that you are okay. That would be the blessing. Recognizing when you're overdoing it and stopping before it gets too bad. Financially, though, oh my goodness. You get the moon and the sun, things are happening, you know, things are really happening. And we still have the North Node in your sign, Gemini. The North Node is the node of the, you know, the nodals, or however you want to pronounce it, where they're positions, you know, points. And there's the north and the south, and the north is where we want to go, with the direction we're heading. Well, if it's in Gemini, it's in our thoughts, in our, you know, the Mercury ruled things that are going to provide epiphanies and opportunities and, you know, connection and communication and ways to speak that we hadn't before, that'll be revolutionary and positive and enlightening for everybody involved. You know, teaching is a huge archetype for the Gemini. But the moon can bring in some, you know, some hidden elements, some obscurities, some things that are not yet brought to the surface, okay? Maybe your own questioning of things. Maybe you're not 100% clear on what you want, what direction you want. Financially, you know, what is it you're going to do that's going to bring in that security for you? Things are not as they seem at times. We do have a huge emphasis with Neptune in Pisces. Neptune is the undergod, the world, you know, the god of the underworld. How many of us can see that unless you happen to be studying it, you know? I mean, it's there, and it's another entire world. And it's fabulous and creative and beautiful and has many wonderful aspects to it. Imagination and fantasy and you know, creativity. It's water, it's psychic ability and you know, the pull and the cycles and just the innate understanding, you know, and the energies, everything being energy. But also knowing that, you know, not everything is always as it appears when we have Neptune in Pisces, Pisces being extremely watery and impressionable and trusting and, you know, with no boundaries. Or it's just, you know, just knowing and centering yourself, not letting yourself get carried away, and investigating with the Scorpio aspect and that full moon, which could very well be what this is about, of course. You know, something very important to you will come to your mind in an epiphany of sorts with this new, beautiful energy there for you to work through, to investigate. Financially, things can be amazing. You're going to have to do some due diligence, though, before you decide to start that new job or invest in that home or, you know, help other people. You just have to make sure that you know for yourself and not be clouded by illusions of grandeur, of things that seem so incredible that may not be unless you really take the time to investigate, okay? And then, of course, the final is the surprises in category. I'm sorry, surprises and wishes category. And it's exactly what it says. You know, what are your wishes and what kind of surprises are coming in your direction? Ooh, aw. Because, you know, we create all of this in a lot of ways. We are manifesting every moment. And, you know, some surprises are amazing and some are like, oh, I didn't ask for that. I didn't ask for this. But it came, and I'm dealing with it the best way I know how. And I'm actually, once again, truthfully and genuinely extremely happy it wasn't worse. And for you, you have the Queen of Pentacles. So, you know, we're the coins, the pentacles representing Earth, the Taurus full moon, the sign of money, practicality, comfort, security, tangible things, right? We've gone from the mind to the spirit and the wands of wanting to do everything, and then we go to the ground and to the practical aspects and how are we going to devise our lives in a way that's going to last, that's going to be, you know, long-term relationships, perhaps. The Queen is, out of the two, the more mature. I was going to say out of the two, King and Queen. The Queen always being the more intuitive, because that's the feminine duality of all of us. We have masculine and feminine in all of us. And when we cater to the feminine, it's the Queen aspect. Doesn't mean you're a female or a male. But that's that intuition. That's the guidance that we have in following that and listening to the messages and the guidance. And wanting to help others in the process. Always outreach of, you know, people in fire and passion. Extreme passion. So, you know, surprises could come in ways that you have created, of course, but from others, an outpouring of wanting to keep you comforted and safe, and knowing that you're loved, and knowing there's enough for everybody, and knowing there's abundance of, just an abundance, you know, a feeling of absolute comforts, your surroundings, your day-to-day experiences, your relationships, your health especially. So that's absolutely beautiful. And that's something that with the sun, you just like, you brought it on. You did. You brought it on and you worked really hard. It's almost too hard, obviously. You have ideas and you want to make sure that, you know, when it comes to money, that you're not going to be fooled. You're not going to be told something, or, you know, just believing because of what's said. You've got to figure out and really go in deep and do your due diligence, and then just the comforts and the rewards that come from all that, you know. It's the side effect of your spirituality, your trust, your faith in the unknown, which is, it's a constant. So excellent, excellent reading with two major arcanas, and, you know, just being aware that you don't overdo it so that you can enjoy everything you possibly can in life to the fullest. And I'll go on to your oracle divinations that are so beautiful and just sent with love and inspiration for your life, you know, and encouragement. And this is the animal medicine cards, because animals are hugely important and spiritual, and they absolutely can guide us and direct us, and they have great wisdom and knowledge. And they can be our best friends and our soulmates and family members as well. For you, beautiful, beautiful Geminis, you have the rat. And let me see if I'm correct. No, I think it was last year was the year of the rat. This year has been the ox. But the rat. Okay, so this is the picture. I love these cards. They're so big and beautiful and very easy to see. Very nicely illustrated, beautifully colored. There's so many different illustrations, and I'm going to read to you what it says about the rat. Because I have an idea, but I'm going to share it with you just strictly from the horse's mouth, as it were. And for you, beautiful Geminis, the words associated with this are resourceful, ally, and kindness. So there's a secondary, message about resourcefulness, which I can totally appreciate with the Geminis I've known, and your ability and creativity that you could be doing several things at once with more and more opportunities for money and the ability to build upon that. That's definitely a beautiful gift that you have. But it says, rat shines light on being a good friend, teamwork, and problem solving. Drawing rat indicates a time for resourcefulness in sharing with others. Perhaps there is someone you know who could use a helping hand or a phone call. Rat suggests now might be the time to lend support to lighten a neighbor's load, or reach out to brighten someone's day with kind words and listening ear. There you go. That's you. That's how you operate. You can say the right thing exactly the right time. And people are they gravitate towards that. They love that about you. You have that gift. Rat wisdom also signals a time to actively reach out to friends for love and support, because you too deserve that as well. So make that happen. Bring that out. This is the sun. It's everything. And if that's what you're wanting, it's coming to you. It wants to be there for you. Okay, it is possible to solve a problem or go beyond a threshold that seems impassable alone. Rat shows us how to be an ally and also how to accept help from others. It's a crucial thing because it's not easy for a lot of people. Setting in motion a wheel of generosity and kindness amongst friends. Isn't that awesome? That is a beautiful sentiment. It says so much. And it's very conducive to you and your major traits that are of higher energy, and wanting to just collaborate and share and teach, as I said. So I love that for you, Gemini. And then I'm going to go on to what I just brought in for the first time, because this is a new deck. This is the first month I'll be reading these, and it is really just important for some reason I'm feeling, and I brought, intuitive hit, was because it's the moon phases. And this is about what particular moon phase is very important for you. And as we go into November with the new moon in Scorpio, which is extremely, once again, powerful and passionate and, dedicated and loyal and sensitive and emotional and intense, we have the full moon first eclipse that's starting our series, and in Taurus, and it's grounded and it's genuine and it's fruitful and abundant, and it's love and beauty and all those wonderful things that the sign Taurus can exude to every one of us. And so that's a lot, and I wanted to bring in the phases for each sign and what that was menting, what that would mean to you. So for you, you have this beautiful, a time for healing, balsamic moon. So this could be whatever it means to you specifically, but I love it because absolutely we are at a time, as we're finishing the month of October, certainly around Halloween, where there's a thinning of the veil between the two, realms, and there's great imagination involved. There's incredible intuition that's really going to be spot on for a lot of us, most of us, and the moon absolutely represents that, being in tune with that, listening to your dreams, writing down prophetic messages, inspirations, ideas that can come through, all the while healing in some capacity, because we're constantly healing things in our life to start new, to replenish, to renew. And that's exactly the transformational energy of Scorpio. So the new moon in Scorpio must have a lot of very important, with two of these messages coming through, it's going to be a great time for healing and digging deep, and nothing superficial, nothing whatsoever. It's the real deal. And it's going to be very beneficial. So I love that. I love that came up. It's a beautiful card. The purples are the third eye, knowing, psychic gifts. And then the final category is going to be your, well, it's the final card, which is the Oracle of the Super Attractor Manifestation deck. Manifesting the life you want, feeling it and passionately bringing it into reality for yourself. It's an essential ingredient to manifest, okay? You have to have a lot of other ingredients, but the main one is the ability to push it through your emotions and feelings. And when you put that out, that's exactly what you get back, no matter what the form. So be aware of that. If you're feeling yucky, it's going to be yucky. I'm going to share one thing with you I've not shared with anybody else, but I'm going to tell you it's the honest to God truth. Prior to falling and breaking my wrist, I was not thinking good thoughts. I don't enjoy that. I'm not happy to share that, but I will tell you, it is a thought that comes back ever so often, and as soon as it does now, I'm like, okay, I can't entertain that. It's not something I want to be feeling at all. But it did show up, and it was intense for about 30 seconds, and I got up and I did this. So I like to have one uplifting spiritual tip for the day. It's hard to even say. I mean, it's blocking my heart and everything right now. My third chakra, my fourth chakra, actually. No, it is my fifth. The throat chakra. And bottom line, yes, it can do things like that. So we want to think and be passionate and very emotional in ways that are of our highest good, and that will bring that back to us. So for you, your beautiful card, which can be a mantra, as I always say, is directing my focus onto what's thriving creates more of what I want. And that's the sun, man. You're thriving. You are thriving, Gemini. And that's what I know about you and love so dearly, is your ability to do that, to change from one aspect to another and learn and continue to grow and to seek adventure and new things, and not be closed-minded and open to life, to love. So thank you for tuning in today. I really appreciate it. If you like what you saw, do me a favor and just push the like, thumbs up once, and definitely follow me as a subscriber. It doesn't cost anything, but it really helps my channel, and I really, truly appreciate all of you that have done that for me and supported me in that way. But until next time, do come back for your mid-month readings, because they're just around the corner, and there's even more information, I'll tell you. It never stops. So until then, have a great first half of November, and I love you. Take care. Bye for now.